you've got a really tight and achy back and even hips and you find yourself trying to twist and just pop it to go away, stop doing that. Here are 2 movements that you can do every day that will help you get rid of that pain for good. Let me show you. So I'm going to show you how to do these 2 stretches 2 different ways. The first way is down on your knee, which is more effective, but sometimes it can be very painful to get down on one knee. So I'll show you how to do it standing too. But with one knee down, you're going to be in this kneeling position. We want to make sure that your tailbone is tucked under, and that's going to feel, you're going to get a pretty deep stretch just by doing that through your hip flexor, because we're trying to stretch out this hip flexor first. So tailbone is going to be tucked under, and then we're going to press your hip forward. I find that it is very helpful to be up on your toe in the back. You can even tip this heel out behind you just a touch, and what that does is rotate your hip bone, your femur bone in the socket, and gives you a little bit of a better stretch through your hip flexor. So tailbone is tucked, heel is flopped out just a touch, and we're gonna press your hip forward, feeling that stretch right through your hip flexor. There, we can intensify it by reaching this arm up to the ceiling and side bending just slightly. This is gonna release a lot of tension on the front of your pelvis. Full deep breaths. And then our second stretch is actually in the same position, but on this leg, okay? So on the front leg. So we're gonna position this leg out straight. If you need to hold onto a wall for balance, you can. So we're working on stretching out the backside of this leg, so your hamstring. This time we're gonna actually tip your tailbone out the other way. So we're sending your tail out behind you, and that's going to pull from all the way from your heel cap all the way up to your sit bones behind you, making sure that you're not collapsing through your upper body. Keep your torso lifted, sternum is lifted out in front of you, and as you hinge forward, you're just pushing that hip bone back, pushing your sit bones back, and we're getting this excellent stretch through your hamstring. So these 2 combined is gonna stretch out your hip flexor and your hamstring, those 2 really important muscles that are pulling through your pelvis and creating a lot of that back and hip pain. Now I'm gonna show you how to do these 2 in a standing position. You just need a chair for these. So coming up to the chair, place one foot on top of the chair. Your standing leg, I want you to pivot it inward just a little bit. So you're going to pigeon toe that leg just a touch. That slight rotation is going to intensify that stretch for your hip flexor. So we're working on stretching out this hip flexor. Tuck your tailbone under, squeeze this glute, and push your hip bone forward. And we'll feel that pull right down the front of your hip there. We can intensify it once again by leaning this arm up, getting that tall, that really long pull through the front of your hip. And then after that, we're gonna stretch out your hamstring, okay? So same opposite side here. This leg, we're gonna extend it out so that you're on your heel. Once again, we gotta tip your tail out behind you. And just by doing that, you'll instantly feel that pull through your hamstring. And we're going to lean forward just a touch, making sure that your body is squared up to your leg, hinging forward, pulling that sit bone out behind you like you're trying to pull your sit bone away from your heel cap without rounding your body forward, keeping really good posture, taking those full deep breaths. So each of these stretches we want to hold for about 5 or 6 deep breaths in each position. So feel free to try these either in the kneeling version, which is a little bit more effective, but if that bothers your knee, you can certainly get the same benefit by doing them standing. I hope those tips were super helpful for you. Hey, go leave a comment below and let me know what helped you out the most.